Welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. What's your cup of tea, tickles your fancy, or floats your boat? Join us as we share passions from people in Taiwan and around the world. I'm your host, Michelle Chang, and today in the studio we have Ian Hudson. Say hey.
Hey, everybody.
You are actually related to Kayleen Hudson.
That's right. I happen to be your husband.
Hey.
We're married.
That we had in a couple of weeks ago. Well, listeners anyway. You know that she came in and spoke about photography. Specifically documentary photography, which was pretty interesting. Go check out that episode. But she recommended Ian come in because we have very similar interests. What are we geeking out about today?
Today, I would like to geek out about language learning and Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Together.
Yes, and the Venn diagram, or actually the very useful facets of one that can be used in the other.
Sure is.
So, language learning. Can you give us a little background or your background on language learning and or teaching?
Well, okay, let's see. I've been studying Chinese off and on for like 20-something years. I've been teaching English in Taiwan for 18 years.
Oh.
I'm a parent who's trying to have kids learn 2 languages in some fashion.
Yep.
And so I'm constantly asking myself, is this worthwhile? Am I motivated to do this? Is this working out? And that's kind of how I arrived at this current situation.
I love how you're both a student and a teacher at the same time, because a lot of people who are in the educator position, they kind of lose touch with the student aspect of it and therefore aren't thinking about it from the student point of view and whether this is working for them.
Yeah, you know, and I'm kind of in 3 roles, right? I'm a parent, I'm a teacher, and a student. And, okay, well, let's say 4, because like I'm also doing my own, trying to learn language on my own. Always trying to improve my Chinese.
How fluent would you say you are in Chinese?
Well, I've been at it a long time. I should be much better at it than I am. I took a very passive-aggressive means. So rather than like go out and talk to people, I've spent most of my time trying to read and watch shows and actually do a lot of stuff that led me to my current opinion about the role of role-playing games. One of the major things I did that I feel like really leveled me up and I was able to keep at was play World of Warcraft for about a decade in Chinese and read all the quests.
Oh,
and,
that's fantastic.
While I've been just chewing through fantasy novels. So
that is an extremely efficient way to learn a language, is to dive into media like books and TV and movies and in video games in your case.
The key word that gets thrown about a lot is massive comprehensible input. You're constantly getting fed stuff that you understand, and your brain just sort of files it and sorts it out. And it's a heck of a lot better than trying to memorize a vocabulary list.
Yeah, right? Just like, and it's more fun.
Yeah, that's my second point I wanted to make to everyone, and that is that you really don't need to bother doing anything unless there's something self-motivating about it. If it's not fun, no matter
it's
how
not gonna work.
Dedicated you are, you're just not going to stick with it.
Absolutely. It's that is, I think, the driving force behind anyone who's really successful in picking up something new that they want to learn. Is it fun for them? Like, are they actually having a good time absorbing that information?
Yeah, so in my quest to find something fun for my children to do while they were acquiring literacy in Chinese, specifically, I think it was the epiphany came when my son was learning how to write Zhuyin.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, the basic first grade stuff. I didn't want him to fill out worksheet after worksheet. I wanted to find a creative way around it. So I actually dug deep back into my memory banks and remembered a good old game, Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I basically recreated the gameplay on the table with pen and paper as he sort of wrote out each Zhuyin symbol that would sort of be the means of interacting with the world in the next step.
Yep, he would proceed through the dungeon crawl.
Yeah. Exactly, or walk around the ever-expanding sandbox world. So it was incredibly fun, but I did burn out eventually, and because it took a lot of work.
Yeah, not before your kids picked up doing fairly well.
Yeah, he's beyond that. He's managed to level up with that. And then the more I got to learn about D&D, the more I realized, hey, maybe this is what I'm getting at here,
Yes. So when did you actually learn about? So you haven't been playing for that long? How
I'm a
long
relative newcomer. I think it's
Ooh.
been 3 or 4 years since we
perfect.
stumbled onto it.
The first time I stumbled into D&D was actually in high school, and I'm 40 some odd years old. But I really only started playing in maybe 2010 or so. But it's been a roller coaster of watching this TTRPG just genre become explosively more popular. So many people are getting pulled into it. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think it doesn't have the stigma that it might have in the past.
Yes, indeed. And it's been mentioned multiple times in like super popular mainstream media like Stranger Things and Game of Thrones. And people are finally thinking it's as cool as I've always thought it was.
Yep, sure is. I wish I had discovered it earlier. I guess.
Right? Okay, so you discovered D&D just a few years ago. Dungeons and Dragons. I'm assuming that you started out as a player.
Well, actually,
Oh,
I wanted to get my kids into it. So I decided to go on a deep dive and watch all the Critical Role episodes and
yes.
just try to decipher the player's handbook and figure out how it all worked and then sort of present it to my kids.
Matt
So,
Mercer is such a role model. He's incredible. So watching him on Critical Role, I personally felt a sense of imposter syndrome comparing myself. But that's great that you started by watching something like Critical Role. But yeah, sorry, continue.
yeah, so I wanted it, as a parent, you want to get your kids really into something that'll sort of be the fuel for their exploring the world and learning things. So my kids were big into fantasy, medieval themes, and so I thought, yeah, let's throw this game at them, and it turned out really well. And they now have a thriving friend group that gets online and plays D&D together.
Yay. That's fantastic. I love it. Like so on Discord or Zoom or something.
On Discord
Excellent.
specifically.
Yeah. Discord, for listeners who aren't in the know, is another, I guess it's kind of a social media app.
I would say so.
Yep.
Specifically for these kind of one-time social get-togethers like video gaming or role-playing games.
Yeah, and you can find a lot of servers, aka communities, that you can join to pursue your mutual interests. And it's actually, in my opinion, a place that's much more versatile than Instagram or Facebook or the now banned TikTok or whatever's going on in the United States with that. But yeah, Discord all the way.
Line is great, but due to having a single chat feed, sometimes important messages on certain topics tend to get buried.
Mm-hmm.
So I like being able to have my channels on Discord and
Yes.
sort things like that.
Very useful. There's also a lot of bots that help you do work in there
Yeah.
if you employ them, which is very cool in my opinion. Anyway, okay. So being an educator and being a Dungeons and Dragons DM, I'm going to say at this point,
Sure.
and being a parent, how are you combining this role in say a classroom?
It's not so much that I have as that I would certainly like to.
Yay.
I'm launching a campaign to unite people who are interested in learning language, specifically English or Chinese, and get together and start organizing some bilingual D&D games.
Yay. Okay. Dungeons and Dragons obviously has been classically played in English. They have done translations in a few European languages, but as of yet, nobody at Wizards of the Coast has released a Chinese version.
That is correct to my knowledge. However, there is a thriving fan base
Yes.
that is assiduously translating all the adventures and relevant materials into, localized Chinese here in Taiwan.
Yay. So your plans are to actually play in person or on, like, for example, Discord?
Due to its convenience, I will primarily be seeking an online game over Discord. Picture this. You've had a long day. You go to your room. You sit down in front of your computer. You pour yourself a glass of something nice. You hop on the computer, and instantly you are both learning your target language and you are in a fantasy land hacking away at monsters.
Yes. Oh, one of the things that I love the most, and in my opinion, is the most fun about playing something like Dungeons and Dragons, is you get to be the person that you've always wanted to be. and do really cool things. And of course, as the memes say, you get to have 8 hours of proper rest every night and actually have money.
Yes, 8 hours of sleep, such a fantasy.
Super fantasy. But yes, be a hero and, slay these monsters. And if you can learn that language while you're doing that, man.
Yeah, now, I mean, there's two types of people that might be interested in this, and we can all come together. One, let's say you want to learn Chinese or English, but you don't have the motivation to sit down consistently to memorize the vocabulary or read that book that you're reading.
Yeah, take a class.
Or the cell phone app that you're using just doesn't attract you on a regular basis. Why not try something that will absolutely suck you in, that you will want to hit consistently again and again, and it will have a blast doing?
Yes.
There's also me, who's the sort of person who has a hobby that they're obsessed with and needs to justify to their family and friends that they're actually improving themselves or spending time like an adult. And I think we can both find each other in a good D&D game.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. So in this case, hopefully it blows up to the point where you're going to be employing.
Yeah, down the road, I mean, we all want to be able to take the things we love and monetize them, right? So we could justify doing them all the time. So eventually, I totally see myself as being able to convince potential parents in Taiwan that their elementary school age children could learn English through playing D&D with me online as a supplementary activity. I have the experience. English teaching in Taiwan is kind of my bag. But you know what? I would rather have abundant experience in hosting a bilingual game before I even make an attempt at doing that, because I would like it to be intensely professional.
Right.
I'm kind of trying to create a market where there isn't one yet.
I think there is definitely a market. It just needs a little bit of explaining because of the rise of tabletop gaming, period. There are so many board game cafes at this point all over the city, and a lot of the younger, I'm going to say maybe Gen Z, have that grown up playing tabletop games as, just a way to kick back and relax. And they know that a lot of the tabletop games already come in bilingual form or English form or Chinese form or however they're playing, and therefore they are picking up language that way. So it's not that far off. I think it's fairly easy to explain that you're using this as a tool to teach language.
Thank you. That's encouraging. I thought so myself.
Yeah.
But what I am up against is, in the world of English learning in Taiwan, there are concerns. Parents are worried that they're just getting involved in the next gimmick, and they want to make sure that there are actual tangible results to what they bother having their kids do, because the educational environment can be competitive and intense, and people want to make sure they're spending their time properly. So I suppose that's the hard part, convincing folks that there's actually something to this.
Yeah, I think that would be your I'm going to say biggest obstacle, because the learning environment here for small children, I actually feel a certain amount of pity. Is that the right word? Where parents will enroll them in so many cram schools or activities before or after school that their schedule is packed from, every day of the week, 7 days a week. So trying to get them to decide to send their children to you for a few hours of gameplay once a week might be difficult, if otherwise they could fill that spot with like math or science or something.
There also is the skepticism that may have arisen from the days of COVID-19, where everybody was stuck inside and forced to go to school on, say, Zoom. And it worked better for some people than others, in my experience.
Screens are hard for some people. Yeah, I do agree. Would you be playing in like video format?
So what we have is a virtual tabletop. There is an app called Roll20, which is browser-based, and it basically takes your tabletop and your tokens and your characters and all the visual elements of the game and allows them to share it with the players.
Yes, I'm very familiar. I actually play on Discord, play by post, a couple of types of games, and we use Roll20 as well. It's very useful for getting your players onto a map that's interactive, so everyone can move around their token, and it's cool.
And it's bright and colorful and so enticing that your parents looking over your shoulder might think you're playing video games.
But yes, an excellent tool for this sort of teaching. But will you have like faces, like you can, like all the players and yourself would be able to see each other?
We could. In my experience, I've always started that way, but eventually, just to reduce lag, we
True.
just go audio. And honestly, it's all about the verbal communication anyway.
Yes.
And I can't see your expression perhaps, but you can fix that with just a little
Emojis.
You can fix that with an emoji or just a little bit more explanation.
Yep. And that actually forces a certain amount of use of language.
Indeed. And it's not just about the spoken word too. There is a sidebar chat where I can basically take everything I've said in the last 5 minutes, say feed it into an AI, get a bilingual readout, and paste it to you so you can follow along.
Yes.
So there's listening, speaking, and reading.
I mean,
Even a bit of writing.
In my opinion, because I love playing these RPGs, this is a fantastic idea. And it goes both ways for English speakers looking to learn Chinese, which we've seen a huge upsurge in due to the TikTok ban controversy.
Indeed.
I've gotten so many friends messaging me from the United States asking me how hard it is and what format is best to learn Mandarin Chinese. And I'm like, this is fantastic. And of course, the people whom we are used to in Taiwan, which are Mandarin Chinese speakers looking to learn English.
We live in interesting times.
We do.
I would say that I would be able to run a game that's primarily in English as the target language and help folks out with Chinese translation verbally on the fly or in the side chat. As far as a game run with the target language being Chinese, I would be able to, but maybe not professionally. My Chinese is not teacher level, but I would still love to try, and for my own sake.
Yeah. There should be enough people here who love D&D, but their native tongue is Mandarin Chinese, who could actually do that for people who'd be interested in the reverse direction.
Hope to meet them.
Yeah. But hopefully you really get this off the ground. I am really interested and can help you spread the word. So
Great.
Yeah, listeners, if you guys are interested in this, we will keep you updated with perhaps contact links. How can people find you?
We have a very simple name for this group. It's called Talk and Roll. TalkandRoll. And we're online, Facebook, and Discord. You should be able to search for us there. The pages are a little bit bare bones now, but I hope to add lots to them in the coming days.
Yeah, this is as I said, I can't even emphasize enough. It's a really good idea, and I do definitely think there's a market for it.
Thank you.
But right, as I guess a closing note for people who are looking to learn language, and before your project is completely up and running, are there any particular methods that you would recommend?
For language learning?
Let's say Mandarin Chinese speakers targeting English.
Mandarin speakers targeting English. It depends on where you're starting from. If you're starting from bare bones, I would say don't be afraid to buy a simple textbook for kids where the grammar is laid out straightforward. Each lesson has about 5 to 10 new vocabulary words and example sentences. That's great. But once you get beyond the basics, if you feel that your pronunciation is solid and you can read independently, you got to hit the books. You got to start at your level. That might mean first grade readers or picture books. Read as much as you can. Remember, the keyword is massive or mass comprehensible. Sorry, I keep getting this wrong.
No, it's cool.
The keyword is mass comprehensible input.
Yes.
Comprehensible.
Yes,
Just read a lot and get lots of words in you and understand them. And don't worry about much else until you feel competent enough to start doing things like talking to people.
Yeah.
And then you can join one of my games.
Yes, absolutely. Man, and that goes for any genre. Whatever your interests lie in, as we mentioned before, if you're not having fun, you're going to have a kind of a difficult time absorbing English if that's your target language.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it isn't working for you, drop it and pick up something else.
Totally. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Ian.
Thanks, Michelle. It's really an honor.
But yes, if you want to find Ian one more time, what was that handle?
The handle was Talk and Roll on Discord, Line, and Facebook.
And Facebook, that's what it was. And thanks, listeners, for tuning into Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang, and we'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Geek Out. And for Ian's pick for Song of the Episode, we have Karl Orff's O Fortuna excerpt from the Carmina Burana, played by the Czechoslovak Radio Symphony Orchestra and Slavic Philharmonic. A little mood music for your next tabletop game.
You're tuning in to Radio Taiwan International, Taiwan's national broadcaster. Here at RTI, we have a range of entertaining and informative content for you to enjoy. You can find all of our content on our website at en.rti.org.tw. That's en.rti.org.tw for news, shows, and more. We're also on shortwave radio. If you're residing in South Asia, we broadcast from 1600 to 1700 UTC at 9405 kHz. From all of us here at RTI, we wish you a lovely day.